for the coaching position, and it's this guy who's apparently done it all. I mean, 10 years ago he started out as
this crazy coach who's been in every game
with the K.
and succeeded in none of them.
Yes, exactly.
Well, let's see how he does. We can do it. The game is live. Take it away, Dinko and Moses.
Oh, finally we get into it. Ancient to kick things off for this series. 3D Max versus Saw. Second half of the day here at PGL's Masters Bucharest 2025.
I'm sad we didn't get to finish the lore from Striker.
Yeah, he was getting there.
Yeah, he was. Well, I mean, part of it is they alluded to it, had to cut him off. Coach of Saw was like a player in a different game, and then he went over to Overwatch, and then he went to Valorant, and then he transitioned to a Valorant coach, and now he's coaching a Counter-Strike team with no real Counter-Strike experience. So we're going to see how that goes.
Famously an easy game, Jason.
Yeah, famously. Here we go, B execute, Molotovs are out, smoke's up in place, shouldn't be any action on the entrance, just some spam through the smoke. So Saw is gonna have the B bomb site and the post plant comfortably, and now they've got to clear out Jaguar.
We got Crazy with the K. He's going to be holding down Cave. It's Gravity with the double opener here, and Ecstasies to follow up. So we've got Story and Agile. Bomb is planted, so Saw at a minimum have a force buy going into the next round. And Mac are going to make sure it is only the force buy that they will be picking up in the next, as the pistol is won by 3D Max in quick succession. We've got 4 players staying up as well, and a very strong pistol from the French, Jason.
Yeah, very, very well done. And I mean, I don't think Saw got caught off guard. You get into that B bomb site, no defense. I think they make the right call. You get in towards Cave. You have to take over that position. You have to control it for the post plant. And Gravity just hit some bangers with the dualies. So really nice hold, really good job. Match is going to be paused at the 1-0 mark, but that's 3D Max handling business to open things up.
Well, maybe the tech issue was good for 1 round, you know?
Yeah, we got our 1.
We got our 1 round.
That's all we really needed out of it.
Now we bring Striker back in.
Yeah, get Striker in here. Striker, come to the casting room. We can finish your lore, your stories. Yeah, so I guess just continuing of where that's at, that's sort of, I kind of outlined my expectations for 3D Max. Like, I think calling them the favorites, I don't know if I could, you know...
For what? The tournament?
Yeah, for the tournament. That was Blair, right? Called them the favorites to win the event. Like, I don't know. Favorite is hard to pick out of this crowd because there's not one, but there's certainly one of like the 4 teams you're going to point out and say they have a great shot at winning this trophy. It'd be like 3D Max, Aurora, and then, I mean, Legacy based off the fact they won their previous event.
I think it's because all the teams you say should win, we've never seen them win. Like, so
yeah,
it's
there's
just,
that too.
you know, eventually one of them has to do it, but none of them have shown they're capable of doing so. Everyone chokes every great opportunity they ever get. Aurora and 3D Max probably the greatest examples of that.
I'd even throw Liquid in that crowd of teams that's like they have the potential to lift this trophy.
Oh, they absolutely do. I mean, obviously at CAC they made it to the semifinals.
And lost to 3D Max, who actually I thought they were going to win that series with the way they were playing at the time.
So give Legion a little bit more time in the squad. Who knows?
They look good this morning, though. I'll tell you that.
Could beat them. Yeah, just the 1-0 games at the moment. We've got Heroic and Liquid in there with Pain and GamerLegion winning their opening games. The losers from the first set of games, Gentlemates, FlyQuest, Legacy, NIP. Legacy off a win at CAC. Gentlemates off that crazy run at EPL. No one really expected that because they weren't meant to be at the tournament, Jason, but they came out swinging. And, well, for FlyQuest, a disappointing opening game, but close enough.
Well, and also I think a very important game for FlyQuest too at this point as well. I mean, in terms of maintaining some position even within the Australian scene of getting like chucked back and having to work your way back to these events. So that's got to be a heartbreaking loss for them that puts them on the back foot early.
Well, this will be the first time you've been on air since the Senzu move came through, Jason. What were you doing when you find out the news that Mongols got rid of Senzu?
We had just finished an episode of the podcast and I was editing it, and I was buried in Adobe Premiere, and then I look up to the news about an hour after we finish an episode. So I had to panic call Chad and Yanko back into action so we could record a little.
Guys, come back.
And it was weird because like obviously we have a little bit more information now. I think more people out of the Mongolian scene or that have knowledge of it are coming out and talking about. There's a recent podcast that was just done saying Senzu on the podcast kind of said it's nothing crazy. I'm just burnt out. I'm just exhausted, traveling, grind, away from home, away from friends, and wanted some time off. And that's kind of what I thought it was initially, would be that sense of, especially with all the rumors and all the stories of Mongols not preparing for various events, not doing any boot camps, not practicing. Yeah, which is fine, right? Like we're just talking about, it's a weird conversation because we just talked about the 3D Max schedule and we're like, these guys are crazy, look how much they're traveling. And then we go to the Mongol side of things and it's like, these guys are crazy. They're not practicing between all the insane events that they're doing.
It's so frustrating because the Mongols got themselves into a position where you're the major runner-up.
It's very poor timing, yeah.
Yeah, you could have won Cologne if you put some practice in. This is an event where Vitality lost, Spirit were coming in with a dead roster. You know, they could have won Cologne. They win EWC, but they don't practice for the next event. I mean, there's so many frustrating things about this Mongols team, and that one just takes the cherry.
I'm with you. Like, part of me is just like, this is insane. Like, suck it up for 2 months and get through the major.
Yeah.
And the other side is kind of like, you know what? Take care of your health first. If you're in the situation where you really feel the burnout to the extent that you don't think you can make it through the major with any kind of sanity, fair play. But obviously it puts the team in a very weird position.
Absolutely. Well, the tech issue seems to be resolved, and we're ready to get back into the action. A reminder, 3D Max just won the pistol with 4 players staying up. Saw got the bomb plant in the B site, and so they have a solid 4-spy. You've got 2 Galils, 3 Tech 9s, and a heap of utility. So I'll try and figure out where they want to go into this one.
Yeah, limited utility as well. So mid-round is going to get a little weird. Gonna have to challenge. Yeah, it's missed, but at the moment, nobody really looking for anything. MUTiRiS just gonna slide behind it now. It's gonna be Maka, the first line of defense back in Dona. Could have been punished if they were aggressive in middle, but want to play things passively with the advantage of utility and weaponry.
Maka waits, sees the shadow, goes to look up to see if the shadow was being cast from an elevated player, but is able to react quick enough to drop MUTiRiS. See an opening kill for 3D Max as Aragorn makes his way into mid.
That's a hard thing with like a low utility, is deciding where you want to use it. It would have been great to have a Tech 9 paired up, another rifle paired up with MUTiRiS for that peak, but obviously the smoke fades in, or the smoke's not there in red room, so they don't feel safe to actually go do it. An easy opening frag. And this is a little bit of a fake. Meant to pull that 4th defender towards middle, towards the B bomb site. It's working. Maka's considering it now, but the hit is coming towards A.
Well, Crazy going to be charging out of the donut. He's not alone. He's got his teammate with him, and lucky it was alone. He ends up getting cast out from the back of the bomb site. Bomb planted, secure, post-plant set up, and a 4v4 retake required if 3D Max want the win.
Really cool tactic from Saul there, and that's a lack of information from 3D Max, forcing Maka to cheat over to the other side of the map on that fake. It completely fools them. No utility for this either.
Oh, another shot. Certainly going to help out this post plant. With no one committed into the bomb site, it's all about this flank as well. With a Tech 9 coming around the back of red. Eventually, we've got to get on that defuse. Time is ticking on here for 3D Max. A lack of utility. Defuse being stuck. Headshots coming in. And the defuse all the way secured for 3D Max. They do pull it off. That flank just takes a little bit too long through CT spawn. And in the end, everybody goes down for Saw.
Yeah, but that's actually a sick round from Saw. Like, no reason to be disappointed about that one. You felt like you're in a winning position. It slipped away, but you got plenty of kills, 4 kills, another bomb play. You're going to be buying right back up into this. So Saw have actually put 3D Max really early on in a tough scenario where the economy is already on the verge of being broken. So tough stretch for this CT side as they know more pressure is coming. And we'll get another pause in the action as a persistent, stubborn little tech issue keeps rearing its ugly little head.
Yeah, once around, and just like those bottle caps, look how gravity's struggling through those, Jason. You don't have to deal with those in your LAN.
Nah, but it's for the turtles, man.
It is for the turtles.
You know, every time that cap hits you in the nose as you're taking a sip of water,
you gotta remember, you just saved the baby turtle.
Yep.
Famously, the bottle caps do get him.
My side of the world, we don't have turtles, so not a big deal.
Nope.
Interesting disjointed start to the game. It's got these kind of situations always feel weird as a player as you're kind of trying to build up a momentum and a feel for the game and how the team's operating.
Every time you went around, you get a 5-minute pause.
And then the little just disjointed rounds, there's like delays your ability to actually feel comfortable and kind of lose yourself into the game.
Well, there is another game going on as we speak over on the B stream.
Yep.
It's BetBoom versus MIBR. For some reason, you don't want spoilers for that game, and you're going to go rewatch MIBR versus BetBoom. Well,
if you're one of them,
pause for just a second, take those headset off. I don't know what you want to do, but it was a 13-1 win for BetBoom on MIBR's map pick of Overpass.
Ain't nobody going back to watch that VOD. Yeah. No worries.
We could probably, that could be a TikTok, really, that one. And it's a 10-8 scoreline currently with MIBR in the lead of the second map of Nuke, which is BetBoom's map pick. It was a 9-3 first half, though, from MIBR. It's now 8-10 as BetBoom are on the comeback trail. Let's see if they can get that 2-0. That action is with Henry G and Harry.
Henry G and Harry. Lovely stuff.
I had Henry G in this room just a few days ago, Jason.
How was it? Was it good for you?
This little bit casting basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. What were you up to?
I was hanging out at home. I was actually watching the games, so so that was kind of cool.
You know, is it good to be here?
Yeah, it is good to be
See how
back.
the sausage is made, Jason?
They've got
Seeing what's behind the lens.
they've got a Taco Bell in Bucharest now, so I'm
Dude,
very
they
happy.
did. You
I'm very
did wait.
happy.
It
Yep.
just opened, you know.
Had it for lunch
They have
today.
a Wendy's being assembled as well next door to it. It's not quite ready yet.
It's feeling good out here.
It's on its way. I had a Taco Bell, Jason, and then there was a very... I have to tell you, the next cast was not as comfortable as I would have liked it to be.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned Adobe Premiere. I've realized I've been paying for that for the last few months
without using it.
So, Jason, if you would like it, if you would like some Photoshop or whatever.
No, man, I'm all good. You just keep paying your way.
Yeah. Tragic, really. Well, currently still waiting on one extra player for 3D Max to connect back into the server. That would be Maka.
Yeah, going to be a long week of Counter-Strike here at PGL Masters Bucharest.
Yes, one round every 5 minutes.
Yeah, this new format we're running here.
And we miss MR15.
We've got a Fnatic Aurora coming up later on the mainstream here on this stream right here. On the alternate stream, the last game of the day will be Bait taking on Astralis. So those games you have to look forward to. Aurora Fnatic is obviously going to be interesting and exciting. Always fun to see what level Aurora is going to be bringing to the table. And with Fnatic, obviously all the news they've had coming out, the released YouTube video talking about the Cypher swap, Crim's back in, plenty of stuff going around to see how Fnatic's going to play. Fnatic.
Yeah, I got to see Fnatic at CAC. Actually, really impressive. They looked good up until kind of the playoffs. I think it was a good enough performance to get into the playoffs of that roster. Obviously, it's the Passion UA core.
Sure.
From the Shanghai Major. That was their first LAN event for a lot of those players, and they obviously went on to surprise, making it through the RMRs, making it through the second stage of the Major. So really impressive stuff from them. And obviously reuniting, but they've got some upgrades. I think BlameF obviously is a fantastic player to add into that mix.
He's going to get you some. He's going to get you some games. He's going to get you some rounds for sure. Yeah.
Not necessarily sure Crim's going to do the same, but he's still around.
Different player stylistically, right? It is interesting. It is weird. It feels like on some level, because I actually went and looked it up. I don't think I've like casted Fnatic since the Shanghai Major RMRs. It's almost been like a complete year. So for me, I'm like, I actually haven't even really seen Crim's Black. In my mind, it's like he could have been retired and I would have never known the difference.
He was at ESL Pro League, right, in one of those seasons recently, where they had the M80 Fnatic game. It was like the record-breaking.
Yeah, that was 3 seasons ago, I want to say. Season 19.
It was September last year.
Maybe 20.
Well, there was an interview given by Naf. He said, "I don't know if I'll be on the team after this event." That's what he said.
Yeah, that was a silly interview, wasn't it? Yeah. He's looking great now. You're going to be on the team now. That's the thing. I think like a lot of these players. I was talking with Striker in the green room earlier, and he was mentioning like the Yakinder revival was like. He was like surprised by it, and it was like those were like 2 players that I looked at, and I was like, I actually have no lack of confidence that both of you are going to make it back. Like just the way they play, the way they talk about the game, the way they think about it, and having had conversations with them, it's like everything you're dealing with is like self-inflicted mental. You know, as soon as you get that back, as soon as you flip that switch.
They think maybe too much about the game.
Yeah, but it's probably more than yes in a way. Like you're second guessing every decision you make. You're looking at everything hypercritically, and you know once you can kind of calm down away from that. Every player goes through those rough stretches for sure. And both of them have had really nice recoveries. Obviously, Yakinder's coming along with Furia winning a trophy.
2 now.
Molodoy popping off and going nuts.
Yeah, 2 trophies for Furia in quick succession. It's great to see Kesserado finally getting that MVP.
Great to see round 3 going live. 10 seconds
here
left in freeze time here on Ancient, just in case you forgot. Gravity's a 5-0 to start this map. Exercise 3-1. Saw in the previous round get a bomb plant at the A bomb site. They get 4 kills, lose the round, but buying right back up into things to keep the economic pressure on.
Quick boost here for Saw. Have a look over the top of that elbow smoke. You can peer up and combine with your teammates in the B lane as well. So Gravity, risky game if he is to push a little bit further forward, and he's not going to do so. He'll throw a grenade out, he'll drop back a little bit further.
Boost is a cool idea. I think it might be able to come into play later on, but I think right now 3D Max just don't have the utility to be motivated to be aggressive. That's a nasty headshot. Gravity clothesline story. Drops the smoke and no access. Good start to the round for 3D Max.
Very lucky, aggressive in towards A main as well, with Maka spotting middle.
Look at this push from Lucky, though. This was around that this was like something that hurt them in the previous round was 3D Max playing without a whole lot of information, which is why the fake that saw through worked so well. Now you have Lucky in such an advanced position. He can gather you that information quickly, and as this timer goes down in the round, he's going to start pushing.
Yeah, well, look at the bomb. This is going to get spotted. Gravity walks down that B ramp. You can see that has freed up Lucky to start moving out of A main.
Yep, we see two. A should be clear. Start making your play.
And he makes his play perfectly. As he comes around the backside, we've got a low HP player right in front of him and a swift upgrade into the Galil here for Lucky. And actually, okay, he's got himself a double. Spun around to fight Lucky down in the elbow. Lucky will come out on top and a 3-0 start for 3D Max.
Damn, those are actually, I mean, those two kills are quite nice. I mean, just beautiful mechanically, but even just getting a couple kills to chip away at that economy. That was what was really disastrous about that round was all 5 players of 3D Max. Still, they win that tug of war. They win the back and, or not the back and forth, but the early pressure that Saw applies to them.
Yeah, there's still going to be a little bit of pressure in the next round. There'll still be a couple of Tech 9s, a little bit of utility. Always pose a threat, but for 3D Max, steering clear of the Force by Wars. Let's see what kind of call Saw come to the table with here in round 4. Straight up into the B lane. Fire is going to make it very uncomfortable for MUTiRiS as he actually gets naded and then burned away by Maka. So solid utility here from 3D Max. Nets in the opener and actually slows down the response up the B ramp with some good flashes as well.
Is that a 3D? Or was that? I think it was like a team flash. It almost felt like. Yeah. So Gravity had a chance to fight for it, but now that one flashbang right after you praise the utility as well is going to force
Always
Gravity to concede the site and allow the plant to go down. Now it's a retake scenario. Tech 9 close range can do work, but it's all being handled very, very well by 3D Max, and 4-0 is going to be the score.
Yeah, bomb plant was coming up next anyway, and stages of loss bonus beginning to build as well here for Saw. So plenty of cash going into the next round. We're going to start seeing them knock down the door. We'll see what their kind of buy round looks like here for Saw. But for 3D Max, stabilizing their economy, and there was some earlier damage done a couple of rounds ago. So fantastic for 3D Max to limit casualties in this one. Maybe Pete's coming out for story.
Sorry, I was just listening to the music.
You got zoned out there? You're like chilling?
I wanted to see what was coming next.
I think with Coach joining this 3D Max squad as well, you can almost see the immediate upward trajectory. Oh my goodness, that is not just missed. That is missed by a substantial margin, Jason.
A country mile, we call that back in the States. Way, way off the mark, but nobody there to challenge it. MUTiRiS just plays behind the smoke. Once again, an aggressive push in towards A main. That's going to be Gravity this time, tucked against the wall to the left, and it's all on MUTiRiS to clear this. Yeah, Gravity going to be holding and easily taking it. So 3D Max now have to try and respond to what is going to be a B-pop from Saw. As they race up the ramp into the B-bomb site, it's going to be Exorcist getting taken down. Crazy with a great shot. I don't think Exorcist expected that level of scaling. I don't think he realized they were that far up. And now this defender, Maka, has to got to drop all the way back to avoid the utility. Yeah, Body and Lucky now arriving on the rotation. The retake needing to be set up here as Body gets in towards the cave. No one from Saw offering up their life. This retake will be hard fought for. And Aragorn is going to be the first obstacle. They can't get around too easily. He's got one, Story's got the other. We're now looking at Body left alone. He goes into the fight, tries to separate it, but Story's AWP arrives to the server and arrives in a big way with the final 2 kills there of the round. There we go, big round. Very simple Counter-Strike from Saul so far, but this one actually very, very effective. Well done getting into the B bomb site, and this time 3D Max couldn't hold it back. That very fast scaling up towards Cube just wrecks the defense playing over in Cave. So no chance for a recovery. After this, everyone is stuck behind smokes, held way, way back. The retake comes from the flank, but not good enough. First round for Saw on the board. And due to that economic battle early on in this half, money for 3D Max isn't that great. Yeah, I want to talk about the oh my, never mind. Maka goes aggressive. 3 rounds in a row they've had an aggressive A player. Yeah, well, yeah. And this time, their face is shredded off. Body's going to be waiting towards Donut, trying to make up for it. It takes a while to get the spray, but eventually does. And here's the steps, and MUTiRiS turns around, and just like that, it's over. The round is done. So you get the opening kill, and you really get nowhere else. You know, you mentioned that the 3 pushes in towards A main in the last 3 rounds. It's been a different player every single time. It was Lucky the first, it was Gravity the second time, and now it was Maka in this round. So that's just if you know when you play those kind of spawn-based positions and those spawn-based roles, you don't always have the information from your teammates that, hey, I just pushed last round.
Last round.
We've actually just pushed this 3 times in a row. That information isn't always there, and I think obviously caught Maka off, but due to some great work from Body over and Donut, they're able to survive the situation. 4-round lead.
Lucky gets the 3K as well. And I want to bring it back to what the desk were saying just before this about how Ancient has been a really tough map for 3D Max, one of the worst in their pool. They're starting really strong out here. They only won 6 rounds against Legacy in that last map of the grand final out at CAC. It was a 13-6 loss, and now 5-1 up, a tactical timeout being forced out of Saw, and Gravity 10-2 start as well. It's got to feel good for your in-game leader.
Yeah, really good. Lovely start. 5-1. Yeah, I think for me, it's like, that's why, like I said, when we came into this, that like 3D Max better just kind of handle business relatively easily with Saw. Like, I also, like in this matchup, I'll be honest, I don't really care what the map pool is. I feel like 3D Max should be so much further established in their protocols and their teamwork and how they like to handle things. So many more reps together against better teams. It doesn't matter the map. To me, just the basic fundamentals that 3D Max have polished up over the past year should be able to handle the series against Saw. And if not, in my mind, there's something wrong. So far, so good, though. 4-round lead into round 7. See how this insta-smoke goes. This one lands.
Well, Crazy receiving some heavy damage. He's down to 57. Here goes Body off the leash into the aggressive play. Looks a little weak there on the rifle. And will lose his life to MUTiRiS, but the response is swift again from Gravity as he goes down to the bottom of the ramp and peels away. A 4v4 with 3 players committed in mid for Saw, but the bomb is all the way at the back of those B doors.
Okay, nice smoke in towards Red Room. Lucky, can't see anything around it, has no idea. He's got to calm over to Maka. That Donut's open. He's pushing that with the AWP. So again, this time 3D Max not playing blind like they have previously. They want to go find the information now. They're waiting out the smoke in Red Room with 2 players, which means Gravity, you've had a great game, but you're on your own.
Well, it's real tough to land a shot there. They just swing right into his crosshair. He's got 2 targets to select, ends up going in the middle of both of them. And that'll be the Saw taking the site. And we've got a save call for 3D Max. As you mentioned, there has been consistent damage even in the round wins here for 3D Max. So not really in a position where they can just throw themselves at this retake attempt in a man deficit situation.
Well, that's around 2. Like, this is one thing I mentioned, like simple Counter-Strike. I think Saw is just kind of just chilling in that kind of zone, which is not a criticism in any way. This is a round where they hit that B bomb site on the 2nd timing, while 3D Max's defense is playing for the 3rd timing, right? They're waiting for that 2nd smoke to fade over in Red Room so they can get the information in middle, and they'll rotate based off that. But because Saw is playing faster at the 2nd timing, just completely beat and can't do anything about it, can't rotate and try and retake the site. Need to preserve these weapons for the next round because money is not good for 3D Max. So Saw have put themselves into a situation. This next round is a swing round for this half. A huge round of Saw can take it. You take the money away for 3D Max, and then you can try and tie up the scoreline. But you have to get this round win right now. 3D Max, I think, again, I've liked everything they've done. I even like the call, just kind of caught off guard by the pacing of Saw's hit towards the B bomb site, but doing a really good job in these last 2 to 3 rounds of making sure they're not relinquishing information across the map when things slow down.
Well, Saw going to be a heavy B play again. All 5 players going to be trying to get up through ramp straight away. Lucky being disruptive, not able to sever off 2 players to the back of the pack, just 1 as Exorcis's turn. As he goes forward, it's damage but no kill, and a 2v2 off the back of those skirmishes on the B bomb site.
And they stopped the bomb, importantly. That was Lucky's 1 kill as he hustled up towards heaven. So now Saw have to recover and go backwards. What a shot from MUTiRiS.
Yeah, Mackin out, forced into the clutch. Remember, the bomb, as you mentioned, at the bottom of that ramp at the moment, so Macca has seconds to work with, but he's lost track of them. He has an idea. Agile is likely to be behind that cube, but Macca's got away. He's managed to slip his way to the bottom of that B ramp. He'll start clearing out, limiting his positions with a Molotov towards Cubby.
That's really tough for him to know. This is all down to timing.
Yeah, well, let's see. Sees the shadow. Knows he's got a target. Nice flick here from Macca on the swing upwards. And now down to this 1v1. He's got the info. He knows where MUTiRiS is. And Macca just about misses out on it. Smoke goes up. MUTiRiS running him down. Trying to keep the pressure up on the French sniper. 30 seconds as the smoke goes down to the doors.
Oh, what do you do now, Maka?
Yeah, what do you do? Maka to make his move, and that is what you do. And no scope through the doors. Maka wins the clutch and does it in a highlight fashion right at the end.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That's such a crushing way to lose a clutch. Smoke in his face. Absolutely brilliant. Steps in, here's the pickup, and takes the shot. There's a cheeky little ghost of a smile on his face. He's just done him dirty there. 6-2, and that avoids the economic reset. That's a huge clutch.
That is massive. Yeah, Saw gonna hate that one. It ripped out their heart. Let's see what the response is straight away. Saw trying to get Story out through the elbow. Fights in A main. Sent 2 players down aggressively this time for 3D Max. They come out with 1 casualty and no kill to respond. So Saw, with the player advantage, now drift their way back over towards B.
And this is interesting. 3D Max's defense has had a lot of like mid-round timing pushes towards B ramp to gather information and towards A main. So what do you do now that you're a man down? Maka's going to help you bring it back into favor. Smoke will fade shortly, and the utility for 3D Max due to the money situation is terrible. It is just the AWPer at this B bomb site. He's going to be smoked off, and now you need to make a decision to move around the map if you're 3D Max. That decision comes towards Donut with Body and Lucky, so they'll go. Maka has to get 1 kill as his goal and disappear back into the smoke for the retake.
Well, he has done exactly what you said he should do. Gets that 1 kill, gets in behind the smokes. And they can play the retake as that bomb goes down on default. Important fight here. It's going to be won by 3D Max. Looks like Body was likely to die. MUTiRiS can finish off at low HP. Can he get the follow-up? No. Exorcist to respond, and Aragorn left now alone with 13 HP. Will eventually be cleared out by Exorcist. And we are looking at a 7-2 CT size so far from 3D Max.
Yeah, lovely stuff there. Good job, Maka, just staying alive, waiting for the rotation to come in, playing safe with the AWP. That's all down to the cave control. With both teams struggling for money, just nades and utility, which is why these rounds feel so fast, because no one can play into the mid round, into the late round. And here again, you have a situation where the bomb goes down for 3D, or excuse me, for Saw, but they've got no smokes or mollies to buy themselves time to get a new position. Perfectly played from 3D Max. And even with the plant, I think Saw might decide to just kind of sit around out with a half buy. I feel like because they've been so close to breaking and resetting this economy a couple of times, the first 3-4 rounds, there's a good this little swing round that just went away from them. Now, like if you're Saw, you feel like you've gotten around 10 and like you haven't really had a full buy yet because you've been forcing so much, right? You've been trying, you've been chasing that goal that you haven't achieved. So now it feels like the half is really drifted away from Saw.
Yeah, always having to play with a compromise. Well, up next is Nuke. That'll be the map pick of 3D Max, and Richard was saying ahead of this game, 3D Max struggled on it in the grand final, but it seemed to me they just started very slow coming into the BO5. You know, we've seen much better Nuke performances. I think that'll just be a one-time thing for 3D Max. I'll find out if that truly is the reality. But handling business right now against Saw. Saw had a timeout ahead of this round. Let's see what they're able to concoct.
All right, well, they have forced up, but again, it's no nades. They've basically just shoved the chips all in.
Yeah, they haven't got the mid control. Really, it's once again just trying to get up through this B bomb site, and they will. Lucky thought the fire might hold them back, but there was a big gap, and they're going to use it very effectively. Saw into the bomb site, Plant coming in, and a 5v3 with 3D Max nowhere near getting into this retake right now, so it's starting to back away.
Yeah, you got to be careful you don't give anything up. You're not feeling any pressure at the moment, so you might feel really motivated to swing and look for a fight as they try and position for some exits, but you give a kill or two over to Maka, and that might change their minds real quick. So, well done from Aragorn, just playing passively, making sure nobody's pushing up, and Saw will get their 3rd round. And those are the things that have worked for them. I like the call. The really simple
hits,
yeah. Because when they've been spreading out and playing default and trying to take map control, they've just been getting annihilated.
Yeah, and even if you get into a mid-round, 3D Max are just better in those mid-rounds than you are.
And a lot of the pressure from 3D Max on the B ramp itself has just come with the mid-round pushes, right? When they've actually tried to challenge it quick, it's usually been one player far back passive, which they got again this time. It's been doubled up over in Cave. A lot of Cave and Jaguar play from 3D Max in this half so far. So Saw find the weakness or the least strong point of the defense and able to get a 3rd round.
2 rounds left up for grabs in this first half. If Saw are somehow able to find the remaining 2 rounds, they'll have made a very good half out of this, considering what it has felt like throughout. It's just felt like 3D Max have dominated them until this point.
Yeah, this is another one of those rounds, those swing rounds. Money is low. They've had to drop an MP9. Utility low on 3D Max. Oh, Body, you're in trouble. You don't realize it. Up above is Aragorn. He's coming in hot. Oh, the flashbang just ruins him. And what a trap set up by 3D Max.
Oh my God.
All 5 players down.
That is crushing. As you mentioned, the swing round, the chance there for Saw to get rid of the 3D Max money at the end of the half, to open up that reality in which you can live with a 7-5 scoreline. But they just get absolutely destroyed inside a middle.
Oh, man, it looked like that was actually going to go pretty well for him at first.
Yeah. That felt like, yeah, they were trying to get the first steps, the motions, the space. And then 3D Max come crashing down upon them. The French guillotine chops their heads off, and now we've got Saw left with 1 round left to see if they can grab 4. The B-lane util good once again here from 3D Max. And Gravity, he's been doing this all half long. This time going to be punished by Story.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice early find for Story. But with the strategy called by 3D Max, there's nobody really around to kind of pick up the pace and take advantage of it. They slow things down. 2 players in cave, 2 at B ramp. You still have MUTiRiS on the other side of the map looking for an A push.
There they go again. Down into the B play, and Lucky lines up 2. He's going to back away, try to get to safety around that corner, and he does so. So really good work from 3D Max. A lot of risk involved in it, sure, but they're able to pull back those advantages that Saw had picked up. It's been a great half here from Gravity and Lucky, who's now 11-4 off the back of those 2 kills.
MUTiRiS still hasn't done anything on this side of the map since the early start of the round. Hasn't shown any presence, hasn't made any noise. He's just looking for pushes. So 3D Max, I think, are feeling a little bit uncomfortable because they just don't know what's going on. All this action happened so quickly in the round that now in a 3-on-3, you're going to get caught off guard by whatever comes to you. Lucky playing it passively for the retake. MUTiRiS is lurking mid as his teammates step into the bomb site.
Yeah, MUTiRiS tries to get up onto the box, and as he does so, Body just drifts out of donut. It's going to be frustrating there in the timing for MUTiRiS. Couldn't join his teammates. Aragorn also losing further health on the spam down. Here come Body and Lucky. A retake attempt from CT spawn. Moving towards each other. We've got Maka still waiting in the back lines. Lucky going to be sent up forward. And sent in first. Aragorn waits here on default. Great shot from Body. Great reaction. Now Crazy inside of the bomb site. Couldn't get himself the double headshot. Ends up being a 9th round here for 3D Max, securing themselves a hefty lead going into the second.
Yeah, it seems like a blowout. I mean, this was not an easy half for 3D Max whatsoever. I think they tell you after the game. The early economic pressure applied by Saw in the first 3 rounds. Almost had him at a breaking point a couple rounds later. Had one towards the end as well. And a half of Counter-Strike where both teams had to play with really limited and really busted economy. So very hard fought for 3D Max to come out with such a strong lead at 9-3. Saw on the other side of things would have been much, if they just got any of those resets, if they got any of the breaking points to go their favor, it could be a very different half. But now they got to pick up the pieces as they switch over to CT side.
It's going to be very tough to see a world in which Saw were able to do anything in the second half. They had their chances throughout the first couple there. You know, back and forth, the force buys could have started. The 3D Max winning every one of those close rounds, even coming down to the 1v1s.
Great half from Gravity.
Yeah,
started things out really well.
Say that.
Yeah. We like to point it out when he gets it. He was dominant on the CT side. It's lovely stuff holding on to Cave. From the pistol round on, he was just excellent. Gravity, 15 kills, 147 ADR. Lucky at 11, Body at 10. Other side of things, it's Agile with 10 kills, Aragorn with 7, and then 5 on MUTiRiS.
Oh, all the nades coming in for this pistol for 3D Max towards the B bomb site.
It's such a sad pistol round if you look at the minimap.
Molly, yeah, everyone's stacked elsewhere for Saw, and that's the site taken, Jason.
All right, well, let's see if they decide to go for it. They should, obviously. Smoke and kit on Aragorn, so that's the play. Bounce the smoke off the back wall into the default plant spot. Use your teammates for cover. Sprint the defuse and try and get it going inside the smoke.
That's a good kill from Aragorn. Start. Kit still alive, still kicking. But Exorcise kicks him right in the face with a great shot in the Glock. Body to assist him. 3v3 as MUTiRiS starting to race his way loudly back in from Cave, but all of his teammates are gone, so no world in which MUTiRiS is going to win this one. He retreats around the corner, picks up the kit on the way out, but it is 10-3 for 3D Max.
Yeah, no chance in that retake. Just shut down immediately. No strength behind it whatsoever. They actually even just smoked off Cave instead of the bomb, so yeah, they were just trying to get to the bomb in the first place, and even that couldn't be done. Nice easy pistol round for 3D Max strolling into the B bomb site. Now a 7-round lead.
Yeah, it's frustrating because there have been a lot of rounds like that where Saw get it into, what, a 3v3, sometimes even advantage situations for them. They've watched so many of those rounds slip away from them.
Well, look how depressing this is, too. Like I just mentioned at the end of the first half, how Saw probably felt like they played that entire half on like the force buy being the best buy they have, and yet another one coming in. Just cannot find themselves a comfortable situation with everything they'd like to use.
In a way, it's like a poison chalice having so many close rounds at the start of the half because it kind of baits you into wanting to buy over and over again. And you don't get a break on any of those, you end up just struggling with the money for the entire half. Dink comes in straight away, body's down to 7 HP, and I don't think 3D Max have really got the look toward the B-bomb set that they were hoping for.
No, not when a UMP taps you like that through a little gap. Like that's, you don't want to mess with that any longer. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. Do they just wait here and kind of make the assumption that eventually an extra defender will shift away and just re-exec? They've got 1 smoke and 4 flashbangs. Okay, that's a 5-7 kill. That's Gravity at high HP. Another one.
Oh my, okay.
And Saw's back into this round.
Yeah, UMP going to be shredded though by Astralis. Lucky to follow up. Space being taken into the B-bomb site. And remember, 3D Max have lost health, especially on body. Astralis, risky play. Another one for the 5-7 as Astralis is his next victim. But this round's still on the table for 3D Max. The bomb has been picked up. Body's looking for the evacuation plan, and he's got out through middle. The bomb looking to join. His body is already towards Donut, diving down in towards the A bomb site. Let's see what kind of position Body can get himself in here. He's only got 7 HP, so can't be super confident.
Yeah, he actually didn't, I mean, with only 7 HP, he's just seeing if he gets shot in the back, right? Clear the space so the plant can come in, but yeah, with 3 health, where do you go after this? Almost, you want to boost him up? He's staying pat inside the bomb site. Now Lucky exposed in the open, and Body goes down.
All right, they know exactly where Lucky is. MUTiRiS and Agile. A dink comes in immediately. Lucky down to 9 HP and finished off the side of the box. So Saw not looking like that was going to be a round victory for them, but a dink early from the UMP, but it's the 5-7 that steps up from Aragorn.
I'm surprised Body didn't take a little bit more liberties once he gets into that B bomb site of just trying to gain maybe like a sneaky position over in Temple, maybe push towards CT if you can get like a cheeky off angle, something along those lines, but a good recovery, a nice 5-7 kills from Aragorn over in Cave. That's what started things out. So a little bit of life left in Saw, and the best buy they've had all game. They got to be rejoicing.
All right, here we go. The beginning of the comeback, Jason.
It's a celebration.
It is a celebration.
Well, only Glocks on 3D Max side of things, so shouldn't be a whole lot to talk about. A chance for Saw to close the gap and build some money themselves to get this CT side started.
Well, MUTiRiS going to be under quite a bit of pressure as they run through mid with pistols, but his teammate coming to help out. Aragorn loving the fact he's got a nice quick 2K. And MUTiRiS will get involved alongside Story and Agile to round out the following round. So 10-5, they get that one over and done with as quickly as possible. They only lose Aragorn, who makes a crazy play.
Yeah, they're like, we're tired, we're exhausted. We've been to China like 6 times in the past 2 weeks, so we just want to kind of get through these Glock rounds.
We could speed these up for us,
we could just go a little bit quicker in the Glock
2x speed. Now 3D Max back to the AKs.
Yeah, let's see what the CT side looks like, because the T side, like, I never really got a chance to get started. Like, again, I'll mention the economy, just never got a chance, it felt like, to dig into their playbook. So CT side, now that they've got some money beneath them, let's see what it looks like.
Not a huge amount of utility right now for the T side, but you don't need utility when you've got headshots. Body breaks them over towards A. Smoke goes down towards CT spawn. And that pretty much is the round.
Yeah, I mean, I think even Crazy and Story were just like, oh, there's the smoke, we have to save.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, too easy. That's just Body hustling himself into a fight. But, you know, that's a mentality that I've enjoyed seeing 3D Max have through a lot of this game. It feels like none of them have really been scared about the fights that are coming their way. All of them, like, came into this and were just like, you know what? Let's just be confident. let's be assertive. Let's take the fights and see if they can do anything about it. And obviously in this round, Body just, that double kill ends things immediately.
Feels like a formality to play out the next couple of rounds here, though.
Well, there's one more chance for Saw to stay in it, right? The next round bye is still going to be strong because they got the upgrade of so many AKs previously. So Story can have his AWP. Aragorn, MUTiRiS, they can have rifles. Crazy can drop one over. They've got cash for one more full buy. So this is where the defense either lives or dies, is this round right here. But every time we've said that in a situation, like this is the round, this is the swing round, this is the one that breaks the economy, they haven't gotten them.
In fact, if anything, they've been the most devastatingly one-sided rounds.
They have a couple of them for sure. See if they can change their fortunes here on the CT side. There's the op. FAMAS on Aragorn and MUTiRiS. Plenty of utility. Kit on one player. That's going to be on Crazy.
Here's Body out middle. Here was the man to bruise them in the last round. Swift opener into the immediate close. He's out mid again. This time not finding the successive headshots, but the grenade doing half damage is huge. But as Exocy's the first victim of round 17, taken away by Story's AWP. Comes towards the B ramp. He was trying to get up there for a peek. Ends up getting punished. Nice dink again. A lot of damage being done by Body. He's an absolute nuisance inside of mid here. Couldn't finish off Agil, who was trying to get away from the utility, but has made it back.
Yeah, but look at it, like a snake. They're just constricting on this bomb site from both A main and Donut. Agil gets one more, but gonna go down through the smoke, and that's Body's sign to open up and rush in. 3-on-3, bomb being planted. Kid is still on Crazy, but an unwieldy AWP in the retake and not a lot of smokes to block off choke points.
Yeah, and this is the round that you were talking about is so important. Look at Maka coming around the back through the elbow flank. This could be the moment, the devastating play that just ends it. If Gravity finds one, it should be guaranteed because Maka coming around the back has got such a strong position. He misses his window of opportunity, so Body takes it instead. And now Story left, unable to do anything as Body lifts him up with a triple kill. He's now at 17-9. He's joined Gravity at the top of the charts here. And this one is going to be a very quick finish. 3D Max have come into this game not messing around.
Body would have been a cool name for us to bring up in like kind of the players to watch. Everyone kind of had their own little thing, but Body's been since he rejoined this roster and had some time to get his game back to him. He's been so sharp on T sides, it feels, for 3D Max. Seen some incredible Body games in this jersey. Looking very precise today.
Look at this call. Straight up. Rush the A-bomb
the
site.
uppercut, baby.
Yeah. Knock him out with this one. Story up on the boost, and that is Body flying through the sky. And flying through Ancient are 3D Max. A very quick game to kick off their affair here at PGL Masters Bucharest. Off the plane from China right into Romania. Now we've got Aragorn waiting down inside of CT spawn. 3D Max just taking the time now. They know they've got this in the bag. Don't let it slip out, and Lucky's the man to close it. A 13-5 win for 3D Max on Ancient. It's a map many had worries about sort of the woes that they've had on it recently, Jason, but I think they put them to bed at least against a team at Saw's level.
Well, this is what I wanted to see out of 3D Max. Yeah, this is a statement game of just saying, we're better than you. Maps don't matter. Nothing matters. We're just going to run over you. Exactly what they did. We got Richard and the panel ready to rock and roll.
Turns out you were right, Jason. Unk does indeed know.
Welcome back to PGL Bucharest. It's the Masters here. We're getting into what is a second map between 3D Max and Saw. Wasn't much of a first map, though, Jason. A 13-5 win for 3D Max. And now we're moving on to 3D Max's map pick of Nuke. It feels like we could be watching more of the same.
Yeah, it does. I think that first map felt such a high level of disparity between the two teams. It very well could, but I think if you want to make an argument for why it can be closer, why Saw might even be able to upset here, it's starting on the CT side, right? On Nuke, you can win this pistol round, you get off to a good start, convert the second, get into those gun rounds. And for Saw, I think it's got to be avoid what happened on map 1, which is basically an entire map of force buys played by them. They need
some
to
money.
Yeah, get some cash flow, get some money beneath your feet.
Get your money up.
Money behind your sails.
All right, well, Crazy going to be waiting on the ramp. You heard Blair talking about how he wants to see a step up in Crazy's performances. Well, let's see if we're going to get that straight away here in the pistol round. Smoke going to come out, Lurk Smoke to allow those T's to keep the pressure up for Crazy, and he's not going to feel too comfortable about sticking around, so he drops down into the lower bomb site, and 3D Max is going to chase after him.
Yeah, and there's 2 players down here now. So Crazy needs to try and live behind the silo. Going to be a tough player to flush out of his position, but now that they've shown presence and applied some of that pressure to the lower bomb site, back to upper we go, where maybe some of the rotations have come in. Crazy's going to get his first kill. That's the lower pressure taken away. So 3D Max starting to be a very difficult scenario to work themselves out of.
Yeah, they're just hoping that they've forced the Saw defense to readjust so much and get it out of position that you can capitalize on some of these awkward spots. But a pause as they get to the 4v4, and Saw have changed up the positions again, which is allowing 3D Max to go back into the lower attack.
Keep an eye on Body on your minimap as we see him right here, because all this chaos and quiet is setting him up to be like, pick and choose where you want to go, try and read these rotations, but you're the guy who's here to take advantage of Saw not knowing what the hell's happening on the map.
Well, 30 seconds on the clock, and Gravity descending down will now go for the bomb plant, but 3 players down lower here for Saw. That plant will not be denied. So now it's a tough situation to get them out of this. Saw are still in a 3v4. They're a player down now going into this retake. Body has just come through that squeaky door. He's going to be a lit piece to this puzzle.
You can't retake this. This is already too far gone.
Oh, now kills coming in from Maka. Should confirm that, no problem. But MUTiRiS back into it. Body was the last remaining member of 3D Max, and he has come through, waited all round long for this final kill. And eventually, after a little bit of hard work, he eventually gets that kill.
Yeah, you got close at the end there, but I mean, that's such a tough retake to make work. Really well done from 3D Max. I mean, the initial lack of success towards the lower bomb site, pumping the brakes, and then you can work yourself out of the mid stage of the round. Good shot from Crazy to help out his esteem in Blez's eyes, but nothing really past that. And unfortunately for Saw, they have to start this on the back foot. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, right? But, I mean, we'll see how the rest of this half goes. You have to imagine at some point they're going to be able to settle this down. Miss smoke to start things out. That's not ideal in any way.
No, really is not. But it's going to be an upper hit here from 3D Max. Of all the utility coming in, Lucky. Oh, flying forward, burning. It goes down to 11 HP, does not lose his life. Agile doing what he can with a 5-7 at the back of the bomb site. It's one quick kill before being treaded out by Body. And they're going to fend off the Saw attempt.
Yeah, it took a little time to secure the bomb site, though, which means Crazy gets this nice timing on the flank. Body's ready for it. Realizes he can't make it in towards Hut. And now going to push in, and oh, that's a nice kill with the MP9.
He goes back to try and deal with Door, but Maka is immediately there with a response. And it's frustrating. It's another one of those frustrating rounds, much like Ancient, Jason, where Saw come close to this kind of breaking round. They do a lot of damage. They get through. But in the end, it will be 3D Max to prevail and go 2-0 up, forcing Saw into the save call. Story will hang on to the M4, MUTiRiS on the Deagle. But a 2-0 start for the French on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, actually, you know, Story is a name that we didn't have to... I mean, we really didn't say a whole lot of Saw players' names in the first map anyways, because they just got destroyed. But Story's a guy who we've seen with the AWP can carry him through stretches, so you'd like to see that come online, which makes it even more important they're able to establish some economy pretty quickly on this CT side Nuke. He can be a complete game changer once he gets going. So he'll have the lone rifle this time for Saw, and now is almost a perfect moment. You don't have to get hyper-aggressive, but find some kind of cheesy play, some kind of tricky player. Boost him up behind credit. Find a way to get him one early kill and see if you can create some opportunities past that.
Yeah, Story and MUTiRiS, there are many members of that fantastic Saw team that went on to get some of the greatest Portuguese results in Counter-Strike.
Sure.
In Cologne.
Shout out to Roman one time.
Yeah. You still think about him every day, Jason?
Every once in a while.
Oh, Body down secret. It's a good position to have this early into the round. Willing to play solo as Body. Actually, he's not too far away from him. But obviously all the utility that 3D Max have to work with is a massive advantage in their favor. Really isolate these fights, put pressure on the back garage player with flashes. MUTiRiS, though, not going to be checked. His Body goes into it, kind of checks the position, but MUTiRiS was tucked in the corner away from the gaze of the rifle. Now, MUTiRiS is still around. He's got his teammates distracting, trying to pull attention and allow this Deagle another kill. And in the meantime, they are doing quite a bit of damage here, Saw.
Yeah, but I mean, you wanted those kills out of Story at that moment. That was actually a really sick crossfire setup. The bomb is still trapped here, though, so it can get weird. There's the trade.
Oh!
Another one for Story, now a 1v2.
Yeah, fantastic work from that one rifle saved over. Let's see if Story can finish it now, and he can't. Gravity gets into the engagement. Story wanted to fight, loses his life. A valiant attempt from him, but in the end, a 3-0 start for 3D Max.
Yeah, the opportunities were there, though, for Saw to turn that round on its head. And now we're going to go into this next round, fourth round of the half. Story has his AWP, rifles picked up. Strong buy for the CT side. Let's see what they can do with it. Gravity has just a fantastic round. A very, very tough fight to take control and keep control of the big garage. Story just has too much to do at the end of the day. 3-0.
Well, Story's reward for his impact in the last round is to get his hands on the AWP. He's pulled it out straight away. Body going to be sprinting with those outside smokes. Just gets spotted. MUTiRiS nearly taking him down, but Body not slowing down whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, he's taking a lot of space. Continues that run for quite a distance till he turns the first corner down in secret. So he's got good information. Saw's plan to handle that situation is crazy from ramp room dropping down. No one's really rotated through vents to have any kind of presence. And if you're crazy right now, knowing that Body crossed over towards secret, as the ramp player, you're just on high alert at all times. So he's brought a couple friends over, which allows them to commit someone a little bit deeper towards the lower bomb site. Oh, he actually...
Body, oh, Story just moved off.
Yeah, but there's a player beneath him. Yeah, I was going to say MUTiRiS is down there. He never actually saw that. They hit in the corners and passed each other, so a really tough round for Body. Couldn't find the timing, and now Gravity's held back as well.
Yeah, he's really humbled in the corner now. Shadow spotted of Mac as he tries to get forward. He's also low on 29 HP. So although it's only a one-player deficit in terms of numbers, it's the health. There's a massive problem here for 3D Max. Exorcy's coming out, the only player with health left. His teammate Gravity should have gone down, but Agile will not be able to finish him off. Suddenly, Crazy steps out from heaven, gets one quick kill here on Gravity, and this has got to be around the Saw win, but that shot, it lands, but it's through the side of the wall, so the damage is not enough to drop Exorcys, who removes the AWPer's head. Is now MUTiRiS all of a sudden.
No way!
Exorcys is going to turn a 4K into a fourth round win, and that is a round that Saw thought they had locked up, but it's Exorcys delivering in the big moment.
That's such a freaky performance from Exorcys. Those are brilliant shots. All of them had to be headshots. No HP to get into sustained fight. So damn good, and once again, a great opportunity just ripped out of the hands. Takes the leg shot here, but this is all beautiful. Good trade, and the immediate turnaround. Nasty stuff from Exorcys.
Even takes an AWP bullet on the way there. So massive performance there from Exorcys. And Saw, very similar to Ancient, Jason. They just can't catch a break, but they're coming close enough that it makes them want to keep going for these kind of buys. Keep getting the MP9s out, keep getting them for mass, but not having everything you want.
Yeah, gotta be careful. We'll see if they fall into that very same trap. AKs not able to find a clean look over at Story, just popping FAMAS bullets into the smoke. Two players drop down vents. Once again, you have Crazy playing on the ramp at an off angle. And this time we'll see what Body can do with pressure.
Oh, not much. He's going to be taken down from the Aragon Peak and an upgrade available for the MP9 into an AK-47.
I wonder if that's some kind of research. That's the second time we've seen him get down to secret pretty quick and so nonchalant about any potential presence being there. I would wonder.
It's obviously taking a lot of liberties getting into that spot. Crazy actually just got away from that trade kill that was almost guaranteed from Lucky.
I actually love this move from Crazy. He knows he's already got two teammates who rotated down to secret from vent, so he doesn't have to drop down lower whatsoever, so just give up ramp room. You know they're kind of lurking, trying to take it over. Just get away from the danger, play a clean round, and finally, if 3D Max don't drop the ball, if they can just close this out pretty standard in a 5-on-2 without losing a whole lot of players, you finally have that money that you've been looking for 2 maps now.
Ball plant. Just about secured. MUTiRiS gets traded immediately by Lucky, but it's Lucky with a 1v5, and there's the second. 3 more victims required, getting peppered down from Squeaky Door, and eventually finished off. Was close to a third kill there. Dropped Story down to 10 HP, but Saw finally getting their first round win.
Yeah, really well done. And now the money can start looking good. Some AK-47s in their hands. Let's see if they can get the AWP back in the hands of Story and get this CT side underway. Need to go on a bit of a run here to start feeling comfortable in this series against 3D Max. Still looking for Saw to come alive and show us what they've got. big jump in the competition they're used to playing at most tournaments. I mean, this is kind of the streak we've seen them on since they were at Fisher Playground 1 way back in June. They played the Omen Roman Imperium Cup, CCT Europe Season 3, ESL Challenger League, Thunderpick Qualifier, Radio Popular Roman Imperial Cup, Exhort the Proving Grounds, and Frag Blocktober. So this is the highest level of competition they've played against. They've had a couple games against Ents mixed into there in some of those tournaments, but not used to this level of competition.
Roman Omen. I like that.
Omen Roman.
Omen Roman.
Get it right, Dinko.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. My captain, oh captain. Well, we've got the peek here from MUTiRiS. And it's going to be Story and Achiel straight away shutting down this 3D Max attack. Thinning out the herd, and really it should be a second round, no problem here for Saw. I don't want to lose anybody at this point. Gravity down on 17 HP. The only player that can really make a difference here is Maka, and he's been caught trying to exit through Hut. So clean. All 5 players stay alive for Saw. Money can begin to build. And fist bomb certainly, well, it was a slap to the fist bomb there from MUTiRiS, but certainly earned at this point. As Saw finally, for the first time, it feels like in this series, have a stretch of gun rounds available.
Yeah, 3D Max in that round didn't have a whole lot of money. I think they came into it with like 1 smoke and a bunch of flashbangs when they got to a point. So had to dip into the trickier side of their playbook and couldn't make it work, trying to jump in towards Mini. 2-round lead, and once again, back to just Glocks. Last time when we saw this on Ancient, 3D Max just kind of bum rushed it, wanted to get the Glock round over with. They're going to come right at Crazy over in Ramp Room. They're going to use his own smoke as cover. Nice first kill, and he stands his ground for another.
Yeah, Story and Crazy making sure these pistols cause them no problems. It's going to be 2 rounds back-to-back. No one dies for Saw. Money is looking beautiful now on the CT side. 3D Max are going to get it back to the buy here. There's certainly going to be some weaknesses here for 3D Max. Most notably Maka, who has to go to a Galil. Everybody else will play in an AK-47.
I think the biggest thing to remember here for 3D Max at this point is you started out, you know, with 4 rounds on the T side. Yeah. So, like, don't make this too big of a job. It's not like you have to go through and get 8 rounds on this T side. It would be nice, but 1 or 2 more and you're going to be a very, very happy place.
Just don't end the half 8-4 down.
Yeah, don't let it slip completely out of control. You know, keep things reined in.
There's a couple of sporadic round wins here and there, and you're already happy with what you've got for 3D Max. Story with some confidence, pushing up to red. It's going to be a start for Crazy onto Gravity. So an opening kill found by Saw, but Story actually lost that fight outside. He pushed a little bit too far, and Body's going to punish. You've lost your AWPer instantly.
Lost outside control very quickly as well. You have no one really who can hold down the fort. MUTiRiS, I believe, looking up from over heaven, just seeing if he can spot anyone crossing, but there was a window of opportunity. They could have slid over towards Secret. Nobody seems concerned about that yet, but there's the smokes that indicated might just be coming. As they get fleshed out, that gap gets reduced. Broken open, still no information picked up.
55 seconds as they try and cross outside. The nade's going to go over the top, and it looked like it was going to be a lot more impactful, but it's not. It's Lucky and Ecstasy finding headshots. Body drops in, and the swoop in to main is fantastic. It's now Crazy 1v2. They come running right back into him, and you think for a second maybe there's a world in which Crazy can win that. But 3D Max confident to just chase after the kills, and there's a 5th round immediately.
Yeah, that's so nicely done from 3D Max yet again. Once again, you get that op kill at the start of the round. You know you've got some real estate to work with outside. Smoke cross make them nervous. Some of the spam lets them know what they're playing against. Unfortunate timing for Saw as Body drops in towards Mini. They had like a double setup that might have caught them off guard. But 3D Max just on top of their game. Still plenty of money built up for Saw in the bank, so we got a couple more buys left in their pocket.
Body slipping his way towards main. Comes around the back into the open, extends a little bit too far, and so Story's given one easily from the AC unit. So given the advantage, Story is going to go again and try and get a second off of the main roof. The dive down has been spotted. Aragorn going to react in time. Gravity gone, and it's now 5v3 with 3 Max not really gaining a foothold anywhere on the map.
Yeah, none of this has worked out whatsoever. Body trying to show a little conditioning. Every time they've thrown that smoke wall, he's crossed towards Secret pretty quickly. This time tries to turn in towards Mini. Crazy has no idea that one's gotten past
this
him.
is wild.
But he's
dead. He's absolutely dead. So there's a 5v3 to a 4v3, and now the B bomb site, there's a pathway open. MUTiRiS' position is very strong, but let's see if they check it.
They should not check it in terms of they're not going to think there was time for anyone to get here. So MUTiRiS actually in a little bit of a trap position, especially now that he's got a teammate to take some attention away as well.
Let's see if they play this perfectly. Salt. Limited time, 30 seconds. They do check it. Exorcise once again. The impact player for 3D Max. That bomb plant coming through. It's denied as Exorcise finds the trade once again. Finally, his work is done as this story with the AWP connecting the shot, putting it all on Maka to show us what he can do with a big green gun. And it's another one, this time for Maka, into the clutch with 10 seconds on the clock. It'll be the commitment to the plant, and Aragorn runs him down. The no-scope attempt from Maka is absolutely mental, and that'll end up being a sole retake in the 1v1 to eventually secure the round.
He was thinking of his clutch on Ancient. He was thinking that no-scope he led. He's like, let me go for 2. Yeah, just got caught off guard by the pacing. Aragorn chooses to swing very, very late in that bomb plant.
I mean, Exorcise again. Like, that's a 3v5 that he makes winnable for 3D Max.
It's such a, I think part of it too is like, it's such a, I think if you're in MUTiRiS' shoes, it feels really weird because the clear comes like so late as to when you know you're getting challenged, right? As to when you know the presence is there. They actually like waited until a player got all the way up to the bomb site before they went to clear it. So timing-wise, I think MUTiRiS just kind of thrown off about when they would actually look down to his position.
Well, no full investment here for 3D Max. Happy to play with Tech9's armor, knowing that they've done significant damage, but knowing that Saw had those 2 rounds back-to-back where no one died, that they're still likely up against a very good purchase here. It's going to be crazy diving down into the ramp room, not wanting to get caught or overwhelmed by the pistols, but they could certainly overwhelm the Operas. Story misses the shot, and that's why he brought some backup in the form of the rifle. Bomb has been spilled to the floor, and the guts of 3D Max will join them as Body is now left over towards Main. He's down to 19 HP and eventually finished off by Agile. So 5-5 scoreline, high fives all around. Saw have made sure that this is a tied game.
Yeah, it's a very nice anti-eco round, very centralized around Heaven and Hell. 3 players essentially handling that Tech9 push, 2 outside as the Opera, or excuse me, as Crazy fell back, and 1 up above in Heaven as well. I think 3D Max was surprised to encounter 3 players there. All tied up at 5.
Not a great buy here for 3D Max, is it? You've got a Scout for Maka, a Khalil here for Gravity, but 3 AK-47s at least, and buckets of utility on at least a few players. And as you mentioned, you know, having those 4 rounds that you got out to, it's a great start for 3D Max.
Huge on T-side Nuke to get some of those early rounds. Alleviate a ton of pressure.
Can just get these sporadic round wins as the half continues, and that might be the case here for 3D Max. Another opener, this time from Lucky. It's going to be Aragorn going down through that smoke just in front of the door. Nowhere safe.
5 on 4 and a minute and a half to play with for 3D Max. They've been deadly in these scenarios against a Saw team that hasn't been able to outmaneuver them. Now you've lost outside control. You have no information on the crossover towards Secret. Do you even risk rotating someone down to the lower bomb site in a man disadvantaged situation? Or do you call the bluff?
Story. Gonna miss the shot, drop back into the bomb site with under a minute left. It is Maka and Lucky continuing to push 3D Max forward in the direction of a 6th round victory. There should be no world in which this round goes against them. A nice shot from Story to respond to Maka's scout shot, but there might be a world opened up now. And Ken, you needed that if you're Crazy. Lucky turned around into the lobby. It looked like Crazy could unravel it all. But should be Story dropping to Lucky's rifle, and it will be a 6th round win for 3D Max. This time, a 4K from Lucky.
Yeah, that's, I mean, this is, I think it's just a thing of inexperience. I think 3D Max, again, this matchup between the 2 teams, like, I think 3D Max is just happy to say, we'll apply some pressure and just wait. Like, you're going to react. You guys are going to peek something. Like, your protocols is to peek and grab the information. It's not to kind of fall back and remaneuver with your team. This spam is really fortunate, but the next ones that come up are just pushes, right? It's a pressure being applied in multiple different places, not knowing if that lower bomb site is going to be taken, not knowing if anyone's crossed a secret, and punishing the information plays they're making.
A little bit more tense to start the last round of the first half. Outside smokes are being thrown by 3D Max. There's a second wave of them, but no one's going behind them. Not a single player. What's the likely move here then, Jason? A ramp play? It looks like it.
They haven't been afraid to go at Crazy, despite the fact he's having a much better map here on Nuke than he was on Ancient.
Yeah, they continue to throw the pressure at him.
It almost feels like a pump fake as like an upper exec and then hit towards ramp room. Hopefully he's moving, and he is, in fact, and it's worked exactly the way they designed it.
Nice shot from Story. Quick scope to get rid of body.
So they want to wrap around towards the upper bomb site.
Oh, gets caught.
That's such a weird fight for Crazy. I almost feel bad. Like, why would you expect that? The bomb is still even in lobby. Like, I think on some level, 3D Max wanted to wrap around Heaven and crunch that A bomb site. Now I think Saw has no clue what's happening.
Story burns a little audio cue as well. They're trapped in the vent right now, Saw. This has got to feel very uncomfortable. A 3v4 retake required of this B bomb site to try and secure a tight game going into the second half. Otherwise, this 3D Max was 7 rounds on the T side of Nuke. And that would be a fantastic scoreline for the French, and it is confirmed by Gravity's 3K. 7-5 lead, 1 map up in the series. This has got 3D Max winning 2-0 all over it.
Yeah, pistol round is going to be so critical, as we all know, but 3 out of 4 pistols so far in this series, or 3 out of 3 that have been played have been won by 3D Max. So just having that benefit, like if you're just giving yourself that breathing space, especially for a team we've been talking about, the economy limited so much what they could do on the first map. So going to be really, really important in the second half if Saw want to continue the comeback. But then you have the question of what does their T side look like? Do they have enough in them to actually break through 3D Max's defense? And from everything we've seen so far in the map and a half of play, the answer is no. So I'll have to see a different Saw on T-side Nuke if they want to extend this series to 3 maps. Third map would be Dust 2 if we could get there. Feels unlikely at the moment.
Well, this is Body so effectively creating chaos and panic within the ranks of Saw. You see Crazy trying to come back down, and already there's a player pushed all the way in towards Hell. Just chaos at the end, blocking the double doors. Gravity securing 2 to close it. And now 3D Max switch to the CT side. You mentioned this all-important pistol for Saw. Let's see what kind of idea they bring to the table. We've got a smoke and a flash on Aragorn. Gonna start with 3 players outside, 2 inner.
Okay, so they just want to walk outside and just walk in towards Mini. Flashbang outside. No one from 3D Max watching this yet. Smoke wall is up. But they're going to have no information this hit is coming until it's executed.
Well, it's quite an advanced setup here for Gravity playing at the vent. He's about to have multiple players coming in, but Exorcist is taking that initial attention. And Exorcist is actually just fragging out. It's a double kill. He's still standing. Douche to the face, though, on that crossover from MUTiRiS, but he's still up, still fighting forward. MUTiRiS taking matters into his own hands with a kill onto Gravity. But lucky, he's going to hear that vent drop. He's going to hear that rotation down. He's waiting for his time to swing open that door. Nice shot from MUTiRiS, is looking clean on the Glock. He's done enough to allow his teammate into a position of power on that lower bomb site. Let's see if MUTiRiS and Story can round this one out. And now it has to be just MUTiRiS. He's looked so sharp on this Glock, and now he's got to do everything. Look at a close with a 4K. The low HP on Exorcist. The player he gooshed on that run across at main. Exorcist going for the gamble, going for the stick, and MUTiRiS will deny. Drags his team kicking and screaming over the finish line of this pistol. And with a 4K on the Glock, he's the man to lead it.
That's maybe the biggest round today that 3D Max is going to put an asterisk next to in review. Exercise gets the first 2 kills, clean headshots, 5-on-3 situation, falls apart. I think you can feel some of the confidence of 3D Max feeling like they were already there. They already had the round won. But beautiful shooting with the Glock from MUTiRiS. That's a nice clutch to keep them alive. First pistol round 1 in the series for Saw, and it's about to get them tied up. 4 spies here for 3D Max. You have the FAMAS on Exorcist, MP9 on Gravity.
I don't know about tied up just yet. We'll see how this 3D Max 4 spy goes.
Come on, Saw. Don't do this one. Don't do this one.
They haven't had a clean start to a half, a clean look at any of this game so far. MUTiRiS has given them that opportunity. You can't lose to a 4 spy like this. MUTiRiS is going to be already at secret. Strong position to get this early in the round.
Well, looks more like they're going to turn in towards Mini. Maka going to turn his gaze. Flashbangs and utility are out. Maka swings. Molotov forces him into the open. But now it denies access to Saw to actually make it into the upper bomb site, which gives Lucky a chance.
Oh, no. 5-7s always have a chance as Lucky just runs and guns him down. It's now Story up against him in the 1v1 all of a sudden because Story just got a double kill that reopens this chaotic round again.
He's got to reposition though with 1 health. This all comes down to timing, and he knows if he sticks around. So Story, I don't know, you gonna risk it? He steps in. He would have been exposed if Lucky had been waiting, but instead the bomb gets planted. And Lucky's still nowhere to be seen. This is actually very, very cool from Story to get the bomb and get it planted this quickly, because now the reposition is negated.
Yeah, now he's got the read of the idea, but he's on the ladder and it's still going to be fine. Story just about winning that one out in the 1v3, Jason.
Bro, if he lost that clutch because he was on the ladder, I would have just about cried. I would have just about cried.
Well, that's one that comes down to the wire there. I think 3D Max even might be frustrated about it. So you get Lucky, the 2 kill here in the 5-7.
Add a third.
Look, yeah, gets the third here. It's a 2v1 in the end, and obviously Story making the most of his opportunity in the low HP players.
Well, I'll tell you this, it's another buy, so it's not going to get easy in the short term for Saw, but this is a nice recipe for an upset win on map 2, as they've now forced 3D Max into the same situation they were in on Ancient, which is just keep force buying because that economic break is right there within reach. If you can outlast this and come out on top, 3D Max's defense is going to have a tough time settling itself for the rest of the half.
Dink straight away. Aragorn finished off. And the flip side to that coin, Jason, is the fact that you could lose this round and be devastated yourself, giving 3D Max the money and the start they need on the CT side, and that is looking like it's the more likely outcome.
Yeah, if you're Story, Crazy, and Agile right now with your 2 teammates going down, you already kind of feel halfway like you've lost. Like this is going to be just a very, very tough obstacle.
You're all kind of separated. You don't have significant map control. You have to try and fight for that. And every fight involves a risk, and Exorcist is going to come out on top of his. Lucky to assist. Crazy's down, and so Agile's left 1v5. He's taking the first kill, but at this point, it's all about damage. He's not going to get in a position to win the round. He's not really going to do any damage either. So an 8th round for 3D Max. The consistent force buying has paid off for the CT side, and that has thrown the money into the bin here. Enough. It should actually just be another force buy for Saw because, yeah there are double eco on a couple of the players here.
Yeah, losing bonus not built up, so it'll be another buy, but going to be weak. Mac 10, as we can see, Tech 9's picked up. Yeah, this is a rough one. So 3D Max with that round win probably gained control of this right back. AK-47 in Gravity's hands. They got money in the bank. This can be a relatively clean round for them against the weaker weapons and the light utility. So 3D Max might just springboard that win into a series victory as well. Saw looks huddled up towards ramp room, and that's coming directly at Body.
Body opens up the bags, puts them in. There'll be a quick double on the Galil, and the descent down as the Galil is picked up by Agile. He'll actually...
Nobody's moved.
Dude, finally hits the window.
Nobody's rotated from the 3D Max side of things.
Yeah, just let him have the space, have a little bit of a dander down into B.
Was there, I didn't catch it with the ramp rush, if there was some outside presence, because it seemed like they were really nervous to drop down vents, but that's been available to him this entire time. 1 lurker left over in ramp room for Saw, 2 players at the bomb site itself.
And to be honest, this feels like a round that Saw could win if the time is rotted further, but Mac's patience has paid off. He's found out where MUTiRiS is, so unlikely now that Saw will find what is required to win a round like this. Smoke goes down, blocks out Story, takes him out of the fight. He's trying to make it awkward, and he is doing so, but his teammates died. Story eventually gets his kill.
Might just want to grab the M4 and dip.
Just try and get out of there. Nice little save to be picked up here. That defuse will come through, and it'll end up being a 9th round win for 3D Max.
Yeah, good retake there, well managed. 3 players survive, so money continues to grow. This M4 is probably the only weapon that Saw's going to have to play with into the next round, so everything on Story's shoulders with armor and M4. Other than that, 3D Max looking comfortable still. So MUTiRiS putting together some ideas to try and get his team back into Nuke. 9-7 and a pause taken. A tactical to talk things over.
Yeah, first tactical timeout here for Saw. Starting to get it to the end of the line, though, as you realize you're 1 map down in the series. If you let 3D Max establish full control of the money, and then you take a hit, have to go down to a weak buy again, you know, we're looking at 11 rounds just around the corner here for 3D Max and a very likely series victory.
Well, and the problem is if they can do it clean 3D Max, you have a great lead and you have strong economy as well. So no easy rounds for SAW to get back into things. Round 17, AK-47 on Story. They pass the M4 to Aragorn and pick up a Galil on Agile. This is a force buy. Like they go all in SAW. So yet again, everything riding on this round. The series, it feels, after this, it just feels like it would just be way too much of an advantage for 3D Max.
It's important for them to pick up the early fight here, and Maka committed towards red. It's a dangerous game, and he is going to be finished off by Story. So an opening kill found by SAW. Let's see if they can extend upon that. They're going to be held behind red for the time being. In fact, that grenade has discouraged them enough to force them away. And Lucky might just get... Oh my god, it's a huge risk, but it's going to get all the info he needs. There's no one else spotted.
Just a little information peek through the smoke with the flashbang. So yeah, a little bit of a risk, but try and minimize that with the utility. But now you see nobody's outside. So that gives 3D Max all the confidence in the world to back away. Gravity's going to be secret. He'll have the chance to go vents if he wants to pop back up in the midst of an execution. 2 defenders still parked at the upper bomb site. Not super concerned about Mini because the timing after the clear outside, you're just putting some faith.
Lucky waiting at the door. It's going to be Agile straight away with that headshot. Lucky taken down with 50 seconds left. Exorcise in the rafters. Unleashes one from the Galil. Comes Gravity flying up through the top of the vent. Good work done, but he backs up into MUTiRiS, and we've now got Body at Heaven. 3 targets. Too much. And an important round win there for SAW. They needed it. They got the advantage early, and they're able to close.
Yeah, once that first player goes down, peeking in towards Squeak Door, you've kind of lost the advantage of the teamwork and maybe the surprise factor of having a strong upper defense in that kind of a scenario. Good job from SAW repositioning back towards Squeak Door. An easy execute after that second kill of the round, and still fighting back in this. Off the force by victory, keeps them in the game, keeps things close. It's 9-8.
3D Max is going to come into this next round with 2 MP9s. An AWP for Maka. 2 M4s. Oh, much quicker here. Look at this. Crazy going out with the Mac tank. Gravity descending down from the top of the hut, and the quick call has a quick finish, and in this time it's going to be in favor of 3D Max. The bomb has made it down the vent. Down to B is Story, but the problem is for him, that is even denied by Lucky. The last tick on the bomb plant. MUTiRiS is getting slashed up inside of the smoke. This round has not gone well, Jason. I'll put it that way.
Not at all. The upper rush falls completely flat. Gravity with a brilliant hold with the MP9. Good work. Swaps out for the AK-47.
Double high five.
Yeah, huge double high five.
You know.
You know what that means.
All right, well, you know, they win the all-important round. They're like, guys, let's just rush.
I know, it's heartbreaking.
And then they get absolutely slapped in the face. Brutal.
Yeah, that change of pace goes the other direction. Another timeout coming in. It's 10-8 in the favor of 3D Max. They've got all the guns. They've got all the money. And I would say here, SAW's probably going to go for a half buy, but I don't know, like with the way things have been going, they've been more than happy to buy with Galils, more than happy to buy a couple Tech 9s into the mix, so that's what's going down. Force up again, right back into things, not ready to relinquish this 2-round gap. It's hard though. Nuke's got to be a difficult map for them on the T side. Like as we said, like Ancient was very simple Counter-Strike on their T side, right? Executing into bomb sites, staying grouped up. This feels relatively similar, but just Nuke as a map, if you're just calling the executes out of spawn, it can be very easy. But if you're not able to actually work the map the way 3D Max was, for instance, in the first half, it's going to be so tough against the top teams. And I think that's the learning experience that SAW's going through right now. One lurker outside. Execute out Squeak Door.
This is going to be Gravity's peek out through Secret. Important fight, and eventually MUTiRiS is going to come out on top of it, but it's just always a 3K for Lucky somehow. The descent down to the site for Maka is a deadly one, and we've got Body now 1v2. Actually has a chance to separate it immediately into a 1v1 fight. MUTiRiS was last spotted outside, 14 HP. Body's got the read, should have the kill, sees him eventually, and seizes his chance. It is Body to close it out. It'll be 11 rounds to 8 now off the back of that. And once again, it's just Lucky with a multi-kill. in the middle of main. Like, he's just so good in that spot right now.
Yeah, he handled it really well because the hit was coming like out squeak door. So I'm assuming the first kill is maybe a clean shot. Second one, he's able to trade off a teammate. And third one is just all him as well. But probably felt like he was getting split in that position. Great performance for the triple wall. That battle rages outside. I get the idea. I get the feeling like, I think when this clutch comes in for body at the end of the day, nicely done. MUTiRiS has got to be one of the easiest players to read in like this 1v1 clutch because his role on the T side is always away from the action. He's always the lurker, coming in way late as well.
Especially when you just got spotted in the fight.
Yeah, and Body knows you're outside. I think Body's just in his head. He's just like, I know he's going to take it slow. I know he's going to be coming from like, from the flank. So an easy clear of outside to win the round. 11-8.
Yeah, decision now for Saw. As you look at your money, you see that you do not have enough for a buy. You do not have a good purchase in front of you at all.
Yeah, but it's been that way a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much been the series, really.
That's where I'm like, if you're in this situation, like, I don't know, it feels like one of those forced buys could have been just kind of a half buy instead, and then you're sitting at 8-11 with the full AKs going on. But we get a nitpick with hindsight. They're going all in anyways. 11-8.
They're going for the 13-11 win, and I love that, Jason. I respect that.
Gotta respect it.
Outside smokes deployed. Maka hasn't always found the most success here in his aggressive positioning outside. He's going to cross the secret the risky way this time. But it's body on ramp. Here they come. First target. Tagged up.
They're probably like, what the hell?
How is he doing that?
That's perfect timing.
Okay. Body, no problem. 3K picked up, eventually dropped by Agile, but he's just carved out the entire middle portion of that Saw attack, and we've now got Agile left 1v4. He's going to dive down, but Gravity's already repositioned. He's not even required as Maka to make the most of the AWP, and it'll be another similar buy from Saw as to what they had in the previous, and probably a very similar result. We're going to see 3D Max come in and handle business. And that's exactly what you were saying at the start of the day, Jason, that you wanted to see from 3D Max.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, if we're holding 3D Max as like a, kind of like a top 10 team that, hasn't really figured out how to get over the hump of like the top 4 or 5 teams, like, this is a team they should be able to smoke and just roll right through, which is exactly what they're doing today. So for me, like, I just have 3D Max in my head. Well, not the greatest team, and there's certainly some things I see that need to be improved. It's like this series should have never been a problem, and it hasn't been. It's been really good to see 3D Max come in with that level out of the gate.
Yeah, this is one of the teams they should absolutely be beating. And right now, just a couple of moments away from securing that victory. This time it is Lucky starting towards Secret with his spawn, and Aragorn is going to be dropped. A 5v4 for 3D Max almost instantly into the start of this round. MUTiRiS just looked away as that head from Secret popped on up. He'll get his second crack of the whip. He won't be able to connect it though. Body certainly will. Agile taken down, and Crazy looking for a way out of the hut. Might not matter much though, as all of his teammates are now gone. Crazy, the last remaining member, and 3D Max will stand tall. It's a 2-0 victory to kick off PGL Masters in Bucharest. 3D Max flight from China. They've touched down in Romania, and it's an easy 2-0 victory.
Yeah, all too easy if you are a Saw fan, or indeed the Saw team themselves. But 3D Max were able to hold their own on Nuke. Not really a surprise.